Hello, 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 and welcome to Mindfulness Monday. I'm having a little moment where I am honestly just needing to take a pause. Needing to take a pause so that I can truly check in. I'm feeling in the space of limbo. So kind of torn between my higher and lower versions of myself. If I can just keep it all the way real with y'all, I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling a little pissed off. I got a lot of anger that I'm experiencing right now, in which I would hate to give that to the wrong person or the wrong people. So when I say I need a moment to myself, it's so that I'm not, giving the wrong energy to the wrong situations. I'm also feeling a little stagnant, in a sense of like stuck in the place of the same cycle of emotions. I'm also realizing that, of course, grief is not linear. Grief is not something that is just, one way, one direction. But I honestly feel like the effects of all of my life's transitions that have occurred over the last several months are settling in. And it's settling in a little differently right now. Because the outlets that I would typically have, or the spaces that were, just designated to myself, I don't really have anymore. So, yeah, I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to check in with myself and make sure that I have a little bit more in my tank. Because right now, like I said, it's not that my thoughts are all over the place, but I can tell when my vibe's a little thrown off. I can tell when my energy has been pivoted or has shifted. And yeah, a lot of the things that I've been sitting with is kind of like coming to the forefront of this moment. A lot of the questions that I've had, or a lot of the thoughts that I've been having, are intensified in this moment. And I need a moment. I'm just, again, realizing so many different things, even when it comes to forgiveness and moving past or getting over things. My process ain't as quick as it used to be, or my process isn't as smooth or forthcoming as it was. My tolerance level has dropped. People are irritating. People are selfish. And again, I feel like my lens has just been wiped a different level of clean. And I don't want to judge anybody. I don't want to judge people. So I'm being very mindful of my space. I'm being very mindful of the conversations that I'm having, the people that I'm talking to, the company that I'm entertaining. My lens is different. And this is just my space, I guess, to keep it all the way real with y'all. So if I can say how I'm feeling, I wrote down a few words before I came live. So I just want to check in with what I wrote down. I said I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling stretched. And I'm feeling stagnant, or I'm feeling like I'm floating at this certain level. And I always reference the butterfly in this cocoon because I feel like every time, areas of my life or sheddings happen, I feel suffocated before I expand. And I'm feeling a little suffocated right now, in a sense of like, where I'm headed, the things that I like to do, the things that I like to be experiencing are just at a standstill. So I'm floating right here. I'm hovering right here. But I also know that it's a reason why I'm right here. So I'm embracing that. The stretched part is, as I've mentioned, and I talk about it a lot in my community group, it's more of an intimate space with a group of people who I don't mind just being vulnerable with and don't feel judged. But I'm going to share a little bit about what being stretched looks like without giving the context of what I mean. But when I say stretched, I mean very challenged in my ways of thinking. I'm feeling pulled into this next version of myself. I feel like although I am a grown woman, I've become a whole new type of grown woman. And God is truly stretching me right now. I'm truly being challenged right now. And I'm taking the stretching with as much grace as I can offer. But as I mentioned when I first got on here, I feel like my tolerance level or the types of stretching and challenges that I'm meeting in the midst of this season, I don't want to go off on nobody. But at the same time, it may be warranted. I've had to get a few people together very respectfully, but it's almost like I don't understand if people realize how much of the things that they do can affect you. And if don't nobody tell people, sometimes they may not never realize it or may never change. But I've been taking a step back from having so much to say about certain conversations because I need to make sure I'm sitting with it properly and it just doesn't come out as a pop off. So I'm being very mindful of that. But yeah, I got some things to say, which are also leading to my other feeling of feeling frustrated. A lot of things are out of my control. The things that are out of my control don't just leave my plate. They're still on my plate. And I have to figure out a way to navigate the things that I can't control in the midst of trying to release and surrender of having control. Now, if you've ever experienced any type of transformation or life's shiftings in your life, you kind of understand what that means. A lot of times you are not in control of anything, but you also have to try to maintain your balance, maintain your grounding in the midst of things that you can't control, which is a very challenging place to be in. So I've had a lot of breakdowns. Again, if I could just keep it all the way real with you, about an hour ago, I literally had to go in the room, lock the door, and just allow myself to just lay on the floor and just cry. I didn't know what else to do. All I know is these feelings are coming up and they had to come out. And it's overwhelming. But I'm grateful that I allow myself to feel. Although it's very uncomfortable, I just want to share. Yeah, I'm frustrated. Another thing that I wrote down was feeling very lonely during this season and in this journey. I know a lot of journeys are meant to be taken alone. And I've been on this journey before in a different season where it just felt very lonely. But now it just feels like one of those where I really can't have any expectations for anybody to have certain conversations with me. I can't have any expectations for people to show up in ways that I would hope that they would. And I'm just riding the wave of this journey by myself. I'll say that it's, many of us experiencing similar things, but we're still on these journeys individually. So I'm just going to ride that wave. Again, I'm just sharing. But I also know this journey of transformation and loneliness is going to stretch me, is going to pull me, is uncomfortable. And I know on the other side of it is a lot of the things or everything that I'm doing for. I also know that everything is working itself out. All is always well. I'll be just fine. So I just want to also encourage you, even though I'm feeling these ways, this is just my humanness. But I want to remind you that however you may be feeling, whatever life may be feeling like for you, does not have to be what it's going to always be. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Name it. Name your feelings. Name them. The ones that I just mentioned, they're all not kind. Name them. Don't just say I'm okay. Don't just mask the pain that you may be feeling or the discomfort as it's all working itself out. Now, those are all words or statements that I've, summed everything up with because I know that to be true. But while I'm in them, yeah, those feelings are true. So for the rest of this Mindfulness Monday, I'm going to, again, tune into myself for a minute, lay out my mat, enjoy the sounds of nature as my mindfulness tool, hearing the sounds of the birds, allowing the wind to touch my skin, and taking a few breaths so I can remain calm. But again, I want you to understand that you are not alone, even though it feels lonely. Those are two different things. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Let me put y'all down. Because like I said, I'm finna lay out my mat. Ooh, and I'm a little sore. I already worked out today. Just going to end today's Mindfulness Monday with a quick breathwork meditation. So just find a comfortable space or laying down, listening to the sound of my voice as your guide. Closing your eyes if you're comfortable, or just keeping your gaze low and soft. But just taking a moment to observe and listen to the sounds that are naturally happening. The birds chirping, the sound of traffic, listening to the sound of your breath, and the sound of my voice. Just bringing your mind and your body into one place right now, in the present moment. Using this space as a reset to calm, to find clarity, to gain peace, and to practice stillness. Taking a breath, whether it's through your nose or your mouth. Again, just bringing your mind, your body, and your focus into one place. Releasing anything prior to now that doesn't serve you peace. Understanding that right where you are, everything is okay. Knowing that you are safe right where you are. All is well right where you are. Taking another breath, inhaling through your nose or your mouth. Exhale, release out of your nose or your mouth. Continuing to breathe at your own pace, just finding pause, finding a moment of stillness, finding a moment of peace. Inhale peace, inhale love, inhale clarity. Exhale fear, exhale doubt, exhale worry. While still keeping your attention on hearing the sounds that are naturally happening around you. Inhale joy, inhale positivity, inhale happiness. Releasing worry, releasing negativity, releasing confusion. Continuing to find a moment of pause, moment of stillness, a moment of peace. Exhale, releasing anything out of your mind, out of your body, and out of your space that's not providing you with peace. Wiggling your fingers and your toes, just to remind you that where you are is where you should be. And right where you are, all is well. Remembering that whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever you feel anxious, and whenever you feel doubt, just try to bring your mind where your feet are. And carrying these moments with you for the rest of your evening. Now you can join me for the community check-in in 20 minutes, or I'll see you all next Monday. Thank you for tuning in. Holla.